Not that. So here's the thing, right? Like, I'll expose just a little bit. In our group chat, B was like, "Oh, Dave East is still rapping," and I was like, "Hey, man, like he definitely held his own. Do you feel like that on here?"
Why?
Because
come on, man, I'm trying to be polite here.
Nah, man, no politics,
I'm trying to
no
be
BS.
polite.
No politics, no BS.
There isn't any, right? And look, that's why I wasn't.
Dead in Hip Hop album review. Dave East and Ransom, the final call. Look, before we get into it, make sure you are checking out the listening. You guys should already know what it is. But also, make sure you check out the request line on Patreon. What is the request line? Obviously, we can't always get to everything that you want us to review. So you get to request it. And it doesn't have to be anything new. It could be classic. It can be R&B. It could be rock. Whatever you want us to listen to and give our opinions on, that's where you'll be able to do it. So shout out to all of the patrons and YouTube members. You guys are going to be able to get that video. So, Ken, anytime I see Ransom's name, bruh, I'm downloading, I'm adding it. It's going to be in the recently added. I have to have it. Ransom is in my personal top 3 to top 5. Like it's just something about his voice, the way he raps, what he raps about. I fuck with Ransom heavy. Now you also know out of the crew, I've been the Dave East guy. You know what I'm saying? Now I fell off of Dave East a little bit because I felt that he was it just kept feeling like the same flow over different beats. But during D365, go to the YouTube channel, D365 Reviews. The one that he did with Hutch Calhoun, that I was like, whoa, hold on now, Dave. You bringing it back.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, I like that.
To where we needed to be. So then when I saw Dave East and Ransom, I said, wait, hold the presses. And then the first single off this joint was Mayhem.
Oh, that was nice.
With 22 G's, which is a young New York cat, up and coming. I heard that beat with the synthy shit at the beginning. I'm like, what the hell? And then I was like, okay, wait, hold the fuck on. What are we in for here? Because if the project has anything that sounds like this, like I'm all the way for it. When it finally released, Ken, and I saw J Electronica, I saw Method Man. I said, okay, these niggas, they going for broke, dog. like these niggas, hey, if we only could get up 60 shots, they're getting up 65, bro. Like, I was like, all right, cool. So the way this joint started off, I was like, okay, I'm here for it. I think that was a solo Ransom joint. No Dave East on the intro. But then when it came to the final call featuring J Electronica, all 3 of them killed that shit. Soulful the Mecca was dope. Now, by any means necessary was the one song, Ken, that if I didn't hear I Am God, I'm bad with names. I'm fucking bad with names.
Klypto?
It is I Am God and Klypto, but I'm talking about the name of the track.
Oh, okay. I can't help you.
So yeah. I'll try to look it up. But that same beat was used by I Am God and Klypto.
Oh.
And I Am God fucking demolished that. I'll tell you like this. If I didn't hear his first, I'd be okay with Ransom, Dave East, and Method Man. But because I heard I Am God, I'm skewed. And I had to text him. I said, bro, you smoked all 3 of them niggas, bro. And I love Ransom. And I just told you Ransom is in my top 5. Method Man's a GOAT, and I fuck with Dave East heavy. I gotta find it so that way I can tell all the people to go listen to that one as well. But Ken, this project, I didn't anticipate it. I didn't know it was coming, and I'm glad we got it because this shit bumping the whip heavy. Dialogue of Living Men Part 2.
Okay.
That's the one. Go listen. I Am God. He was also on the listening. Go watch the listening.
Yeah, this was in my it's cool category. It got better. It got better. I know they've worked together before, Dave East and Ransom. It was just like it's just still. I don't know. It was just like I don't know. I wasn't too hyped.
Oh,
I wasn't too hyped to listen to this. But I am glad that I did.
Okay.
And I ultimately ended up really, really enjoying it with repeated listens. But I did like the way it opened up with the opening track, Audubon Ballroom. Because I'm like, oh, wait, I like what they're saying here. Like the content of that song is really good. And then you follow that with the final call with Jay Electronica. Thing about Jay Electronica that I love is he don't give a damn what anybody think about him, bro. He gonna give you some controversial lyrics, and you can say whatever the hell you want to say about him. He gonna do this shit over and over and over and over again, and he knows it. You know, he is who he is. I don't know if there's been a lot of outcry or anything about it. I haven't looked to see, but it was good to hear him rap on here. It was good to hear hear his voice. Soulful and Mecca was alright, and I was like, uh-oh. But man, when I heard Method Man, bro, now I know what you just said about I Am God, and I Am God was great. Method Man was so freaking nasty on here, bro. Like, I want a Method Man project.
No, I feel you.
I feel you. We need one at this point.
Yeah,
what is he doing?
Yeah.
Why are you messing around, bro? You know, he got to be working on something. Why would Method Man, unless he just really, really respects these rappers, which he could. But yeah, Mayhem and 22G's verse was dope. I like the way that on Al Kabir Beach or whatever, that one had sort of a mainstream sound, but it really worked with Abby Jasmine. And I was really surprised coming off of Mayhem that which such as a high energy, frenetic, aggressive track, that they completely went in the opposite direction.
But I like that though. I like that because it worked. And here's the thing.
It worked because it was a good track, yeah.
Yeah, no, it worked.
If it was a bad track,
no, 100%. The production, when I first heard it, I said, oh, Larry June? Currency?
Of course you said Larry June.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe that I got. So I'm like, wait, hold on. I don't know if I want Ransom and Dave East on this.
Yeah.
But hey, yes, I do. They did their thing. But hold on, Ken. I want to go back to Soul Food and Mecca. Because if we're talking about lyrics, I feel like what Ransom was saying was very poignant and very, very needed in hip hop. Like he has, I think it's part of the hook where he says, I stopped raising my gun when I started raising my queen. And I felt like, yo, like that is very powerful. And I just recently, like in the last 2 weeks, finished listening to the Malcolm X book. You know what I'm saying? And that was amazing.
By Alice Haley?
Yes. Amazing fucking book. So it just gave me more insight to, what Islam is, what it stands for, how Malcolm X saw it. And then when I heard that line, I'm like, oh, like this is, I don't know, like for me, Ken, I don't know, like I'm
it's
just like
beat, bruh. It's just like
the beat isn't anything special, so I give you that.
It's a forgettable track
musically, but lyrically, I felt like it was important.
Okay, no, I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree.
Okay,
I thought it closed well with Blood and Water. I love that Biggie line. He had on there. Yep. Yeah, that shit was dope. Yep. Oh, and Dave East actually had a good one too. It was like you, me, him, and something. I can't remember how it went. I don't know if it was on By Any Means or The Mosque or whatever, but it was a dope line too. Exotic Prayer Runs, whatever. And
Dave East had a really dope line on Mayhem because, Dave East closed that track out where he says, I'm holding like 22, referring to the other rapper that's on there, like for Ransom. So he used all three of them in there. So yeah, no, that was dope. No, so here's the thing, right? Like, and I'll expose just a little bit. In our group chat, B was like, "Oh, Dave East is still rapping," and I was like, "Hey, man, like he definitely held his own." Do you feel like that on here?
Why?
Because
come on, man, I'm trying to be polite here.
Nah, man, no politics,
I'm trying to be polite.
No politics, no BS.
There isn't any, right? And look, that's why I wasn't all that interested. But I know that you mentioned the Calhoun joint that he did, so I did like that one. I think it was something else that we reviewed that I did not like. But it gave me hope. Yeah. So I'm but it's
so when
just
you walked away from here, were you like, yo, like Dave East was on par, or was he just like completely off the mark?
I won't say he was completely off the mark.
Okay.
But my first listen, that was part of the issue.
I got you.
That was part of the issue. It was like, because Ransom just shines.
Yeah, that's what he does.
You know, and I really like, okay, I know Dave East can rap. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the thing? Like, is it the voice or whatever? Like, what's not there's no energy there. It's not like Ransom has a lot of energy, but, you know, there is more charisma and to a certain degree when he raps. But the more I listen to it, I'm like, the more I heard Davey's lines. And I'm like, okay, that's a good line. That's a good line. That's a good line. All right. So now you catching up. No disrespect, but you know, and I felt like, you know, if I had to pick a winner, I'm picking Ransom. But Dave East got some good blows in. Yeah, he Ransom. They're not like they compete with each other.
Yeah.
But if it was a fight, he's probably cut a little bit, you know, swollen, and that's where you kind of took it to where I was going to ask you, because Dave East said that on here. I think he mentioned that he's underrated.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, wait a minute. Dave East underrated? Like, does he feel slighted? And here I am probably slighting him, right? But he asked. But I was going to ask you. You think Dave East is underrated?
A little bit, but I think it's his own doing, because I think the way he came out, you know what I'm saying? You could tell like he had a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and then the whole Nas thing, being signed to Mass Appeal was a big move. But then we never really got the Nas feature, you know what I'm saying, that we all wanted. Then, you know, I always loved his New York scruffy sound on trap beats. But then I felt like he fell into a lull of having the same flow. And it was the same flow for too long. So then I just started tapping into other rappers, you know. And then when he finally got back, it's kind of like, oh, like now we got to catch up. But is he underrated to a degree? Yeah. You know, I feel he's like one of these guys that people should tap into, especially his later stuff, because I feel like he's rapping reinvigorated. And this album, the Clutch Calhoun joint, and there is another one that I like. We listen to a lot of music, and you already know I'm FeeFo, bro. I don't be remembering all of the damn names and shit. But to me, yes, Dave East is a little underrated right now.
Dave East can rap, and what I liked about this project is that he went up against somebody else that we know can rap. Yeah, you know, and that would force him to not get murdered at all. Like he had to come with, you know, his best lines, and he had to step up the fucking rap. Yeah. Or he'll like, and that, because that underrated line would sound crazy if you're not on par with Ransom. A reinvigorated Dave East, if that's what is about to happen, you know, could definitely have more people talking about him. And I think this is a good step. Yeah, I think because he had some really good lines on here. He has some really good lines on here. So I think this is a step in the right direction, you know, for him. You know, if you know that's what he wants to do. Extremely, you know, talent. I could think he was even doing the music, the TV shit for a minute. So maybe, you know, he was, you know, kind of, you know, doing TV, doing this and all this other stuff. He couldn't just lock in on this one thing. And maybe he's ready to lock back in and really, you know, do the thing that captured everybody's attention.
Yeah. But this project, it's good for New York because you know we have like kind of sort of the Joey Badass East Coast West Coast thing happening. Even though nobody's jumping on Joey's bandwagon to help him out, you know, I feel like there's solidarity and quality from the coast, and this. Throw that in there. Like if we're talking East versus West, hey, that Dave East and Ransom, that shit hard. You need to go to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it gives strength to the East Coast because we've been questioning it. You know what I'm saying? But the one caveat I will say that both of these guys are older now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the question is still out there. Where is the young New York guy? because Joey Badass is no longer the young guy no more in the room. Obviously, Ransom is not. Ransom has been around since the 2000s. Dave East is new, or not. He's not new no more. Like where is the new guy? Where are the New York rappers? But for East Coast, for New York rap, this was much needed. I fuck with it, top to bottom.
I thought Farewells was a good
closer.
Farewells, what they were rapping about and how it sounded and the beat and everything, to ease off the gas a little bit, made me think if there was a connected theme to a certain degree with how Audubon Ballroom opened. You had Final Call and then Farewells. And I didn't get a chance to really go back and really dive deep into the album to see if this was like, I started out here and I finally made my way all the way to this particular point. And, now I'm issuing my farewells to everybody. It's like, I made it. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't had a chance to really dissect it like that, but definitely a high quality. Definitely a really, really good high quality album.
All right. So for y'all that have never seen us grade a project, we grade the flow, lyrics, production, features, execution, replay value, and the overall. Ken, I'll start off with the flow. B+.
We'll go B-.
Okay. Lyrics.
Give me a B on the lyrics.
B+ for me on the lyrics. Production for me, B+.
Let me get a B on the production.
Okay. What about the features for you?
Features, let me get a B-. Even though Method Man was really, really good, but I think there was one feature I didn't feel like I didn't really care for.
Features for me, B+. Execution, I'm gonna go A-.
Jeez, A-?
Yeah, because I feel like Ransom brought Dave East into his world, and Dave East kept up. Like he sounded good. Like what's the mosque, right? Like the stripped, no drums.
Okay.
And Dave East he had to rap his ass off to keep up, and he brought him into his world. But then on like Mayhem, that's more Dave East world. They brought Ransom in there, and then they brought a youngin, and they all three. You know what I'm saying? So
did
like
Ransom have to keep up with Dave East?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, but I'm just saying he brought him into his musical world a little bit, and I just felt like the execution of bringing each other into what they do best was really good.
All right, I guess
so that's why it's at an A-.
The logic sound, B- for me.
Okay, replay value.
I would say the replay. You know what? The replay value is actually at a B for me. Yeah, the more I listen to it, the more I started to really kind of really love what they're doing here as a complete project. Yeah.
Bet. Replay value is an A for me. Ever since it's come out, it's been in heavy rotation for me. So replay value is an A. Overall, A-. Overall, A-.
Man, I would love to take your class, bro. Jeez.
I fuck with it.
I got you.
I fuck with this project, bro.
I got you. Overall, I'm gonna go B-.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bet. So I feel, cause I really fuck with Ransom heavy. I fuck with Dave East. And here's the thing. We try to be as objective as possible, but there is some bias. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with these guys. I like them. So I like it. So that's why the grades are what they are. But look, man, how do y'all feel about this project? Have y'all listened to this project? Let us know in the comments section, and we'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.